Hi there, and good evening. It's Cindy from Western North Carolina. And right now we're having an issue with our internet. And it happens quite regularly here in the mountains, and that's kind of the price you pay for wanting to live in the boonies. So, my apologies for delaying the event for this evening, but I wanted to get it recorded so that I could share with you the 4 secrets to expansion, whether it's personal expansion or professional expansion, working on a business. There are 4 things that I find are pretty important for that. And so that's what I'm going to share with you this evening. I'm a multipreneur. I'm Cindy Brockway. I'm a multipreneur, meaning that I have experience running a variety of successful businesses from my home. And I specialize in helping budding solopreneurs, just like me, to build an approach to activating personal and professional expansion so that what you do is manageable and sustainable over time. And that's kind of what it needs to be for us to be successful. Wouldn't you agree? So let's talk just for a second or two or three about my journey as an multipreneur. And I call myself a grannypreneur too because I have 11 grandchildren, and they are from 1 year old this coming week to 20 years old. So they are growing up fast. And so I was already well on my way to having grandchildren when I started my very first business in 2010. That was my Etsy shop. And I was 52 when I started that Etsy shop. And we sell retail and wholesale. And what I sell is my magnetic therapy jewelry. So here's one of the pieces that I sell on my Etsy shop. And we also sell aromatherapy jewelry. And we sell cedar soap decks. And we've been doing that since 2010. And then a couple of years after we started our Etsy shop, we decided to invest in some real estate. And that was when I was 54. And we renovated a property and we kept it renovated, or we kept it rented and making money for us for 10 years until we finally decided to sell it this year in April. And we made a really good profit. So we felt like the time was right for us to pass that baton on to someone else. And then when I was 60, I launched my coaching business. And I am an educator as well as a business mentor. So I work with people, work doing courses for self expansion, self awareness. And I also help people with their businesses. And then in the middle of all that, starting from 52 to where I am now at 64, I have several businesses that I have been working on. One of them is also a clean wine business. I don't know if you're familiar with clean crafted wine, but I started with that as well. And then also, I have an essential oil and supplement business that I work with and represent a company. So I have several irons in the fire, and I love it. It is a beautiful way to be able to be in charge, supplement your income, whatever level you are in your life, whatever age, and be able to move forward with a viable income stream or two or three. So, let me tell you what I've learned in the past 12 years as a solopreneur, as a grannypreneur. So, for one thing, I was a little older than some entrepreneurs. I don't even know. It's a good question. How old is the average entrepreneur or solopreneur when they start their first business? I'd be curious about that. And if you have any ideas on that one, Put it in the comments so we can tell. And by the way, I'll be watching as I post this recording so that I can answer questions and interact with you. I just really feel bad that I wasn't able to do it live, but things happen for a reason. So here we are. All right. In the past 12 years, I have been working with people and I have seen them struggle big time trying to build a viable business and finding a way to work from home that is manageable and sustainable. And they struggle. Most of the people that I work with and that I have come in contact with struggle with having a home business. So whether often it's where they work 24/7 to try to get the word out, to try to get sales, and they really don't have a cohesive strategy for building a business, so they quickly burn out. And then other people, they have in mind what they'd like to do, or at least an idea of what they'd like to do and something they could do from home, but they have no idea where to start. And so they don't even try. They just kind of mull it around and it just sits there festering. And they don't reach out and put their thoughts into action. So that's what I'm here for. I want to be able to solve some of those problems for you if you are in the same boat I was 10 to 12 years ago when I was starting my first few businesses. And let's talk about that. There are what I think are four secrets, four tools that are important whether you are wanting to grow personally or professionally. Four things is what it kind of boils down to. The first one is having the right tools, knowing where to start, what to do, tools that you can utilize for the long haul. Not something you try this and try that and try this. No, getting the right tools at the right time to do the right thing for you. So number one is tools. That's the first secret. And I don't think that I have to tell you that there's lots of tools out there that really don't make enough of an impact on what we do to sustain us over time. So the key is finding the tools that do. The second one is education. Education. So whether you are trying to educate yourself on things that you struggle with or that you want to expand personally, or in the business world, educating yourself and learning from others in business. Now, like I said, when I started my Etsy shop in 2010, I knew nothing about having an online shop. I knew nothing about marketing at that time. So I needed some education, but I didn't know where to get it. I didn't even think about how to find support for a teacher who is making jewelry on the side and trying to sell it. Where would you go? You might have some answers to that for beginning people, but I just didn't. I didn't know where to go. So education was missing. I didn't have the right tools back then. So that was missing. The next one is implementation lives or labs, opportunities to get together with somebody to help you one-on-one, face-to-face, or virtually to put things in place and help you get things set up and help you work through the kinks and the bugs. That's one of the secrets to being successful, whether you're working on something within your heart or whether you're working on a business. And then the last one is community support. Knowing that you have a community just like this group that Rucha has going for us, that we have lots of people to connect with. In fact, 387 people last time I looked in this group, 387 people to connect with. That's amazing. And these are people that can help you find the steps to move forward on your path to expansion on a daily basis to really help you. Each step is so important. You have to have the tools. That's step number one. You need some education. Step number two, you need someone to help you implement. Step number three, and then also have a community that can support you and run ideas back and forth to help you expand beyond just getting it off the ground, but making it a viable money-making adventure for you. So they're very important. And let me tell you what that looked like for me at the very beginning in 2010. So that's when I started my Etsy shop. And I had actually started selling my jewelry before that at our local farmers market. And we would set up our booth and sell our jewelry. And we did really well. Every weekend we would set up and meet people and sell jewelry. And then my daughter, she suggested that I get on Etsy and open up a shop on Etsy. And I'm like, ooh, I've never done anything like that before, but I thought I'd give it a try. So I did. And boy, did I fumble through that. Getting it set up, it's much easier now. They have great apps to help you set things up, lots of things and resources. But back in 2010, when I started, it's not that there weren't any resources, it's just that I really didn't know where to find the ones that I needed that would work in my situation. So I started in 2010. My very first sale on Etsy, and you can take a guess, how long do you think it took me to sell one pair of $6 earrings? Well, if I was at the craft show or at the market, I often would sell a pair of earrings within 10 minutes of having my booth open. On Etsy, it took me 6 months to make my first $6 sale on Etsy. Now, I really had my doubts. My husband had his doubts when he took my package that had my $6 earrings in it to the store, not to the store, to the post office. And he's like, I don't know if this is really going to work for you, babe. And I said, well, to tell you the truth, I don't know if it's going to work either. I just didn't know what was going to happen. But you know what? I decided after 6 months that I wasn't going to give up. I'd put a lot of time, a lot of energy in making my listings. And even though I was questioning my choices, I was questioning the venue, whether or not Etsy was the venue for me. But I knew that I wanted to have some type of a feasible income. So I did not give up. I kept trying. And back then when I started, and just to think about it now, I use social media. A lot of us use social media to market what we do, to get to know people, to find people that can support us. But you know what? Back then, there was no Instagram. Well, actually, Instagram was in its infancy. Its very first post on Instagram, when I did some research, was July 16th, 2010. And I started my Etsy shop in December 2010. And so I didn't even know Instagram existed. So I wasn't on Instagram. And then Messenger. A lot of times we like to connect with people in Messenger. Some of our coaches that we work with and people say, okay, let's perfect your ability to reach out to people in Messenger. But you know what? Back in 2010, there was no Messenger. Messenger did not launch until August 9th, 2011. So that left me fumbling if social media was going to be my only avenue for marketing. TikTok, they didn't start until September 2016. And then Facebook stories, which I use quite a bit now in my marketing, they didn't start until March 2017. So from 2010 to 2016, 2017, I was really on my own with a lot of trying to figure out how to market my online business and my vacation rental. But I did it. I made it work. My hubby and I got together. We we just did a lot of soul searching, and then we invested in some things. And you know what? We had no idea how to market, period, whether it was on social media or whether it was off social media. And it took us quite some time to figure out how to market our businesses so that they could make money and grow the way they have to this point now in 2022. And so I want to share some of those resources with you. And it's called my um, Beginner Business Bundle. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. I help passionate entrepreneurs with their marketing at the very beginning. And mainly, I give you some of the things that were missing for me and my endeavors when I was a new entrepreneur in 2010, when we didn't have access to all of this really cool stuff online. And so just as a reminder, you will want to use some sort of resource or resources, combination of resources, so that you have the stepping stones to take your business from where it is now to where you want it to be. It could just be an idea. You could be struggling and floundering like I was for the first few years, or you could be at a place where you just want to make it to the next level in your business and you want a little bit of help to tweak it. So this training that I offer that in my business center, it's free to new business owners or business owners that are wanting to level up. It's going to give you some tools, some education. It includes some one-on-one implementation calls with me and also community support, working with others that are doing the exact same thing you are doing. And that will help you to improve and increase your success and brighten your horizons, expand your horizons. So I want to invite you to let me know if you are interested in my free business bundle. And the way you get it is you get access to my virtual business center that I have up and running. And I'm proud of myself because I did not start getting all of my resources together in one localized place until the beginning of this year. And I am thrilled with what I have gotten in place now for people. And so I am offering free membership to my virtual business center. And I call it the Simple Solutions System. And in this center, once you log in, well, you sign up for the free membership, you log in and you go to the business library, and you will have access to 3 courses. I call them micro courses because they're not very long. They're only 20 to 30 minutes long. One is on content creation, and it's under 30 minutes, and it just really gives you a simple process for how to schedule, plan, and post endless amounts of content with just investing a few minutes a day. Then there is another very quick video on the top 10 social media posts for results. And it is going to give you some ideas on creating curiosity, igniting engagement, getting prospects, asking you for your opportunities because of how you're posting and getting the word out there in a way that's not threatening or spammy. And then the last course that is in this freebie, this business bundle, is a video on the 8 steps to close a sale. So it's going to help you figure out what, how, and when to easily transition from a friend request to an offer to closing a sale. And I'd also like to invite you to connect with me on Facebook. My profile is Cindy Cooley Brockway, And you can also connect with me in here. And I have a Facebook community called Essentials for Peace and Balance, Personal and Professional. And I'd like to invite you to join me there as well. So, again, my apologies for having to upload a recording. Hopefully, you learned a lot, or at least you got inspired about something you can do or the next step that you might want to take. So, let's reach out and connect. Have a nice evening. Bye bye.